Mr. Hitchens, are you as outraged as the MPs we heard there?
Well, I'm not surprised, but I am a Puritan and indeed perhaps a prude, and I find events of this kind as repulsive as anybody and more repulsive than some. What I'm interested to see now is that having long opposed the permissive society, of which this is an aspect, I now find I'm at last getting allies among the left-wing feminists who have always seemed to me to be at least equivocal about the permissive society and seen it as something in general good. I'm afraid this is a characteristic of it.
And it feels as though something fairly substantial has changed, because this may not have made the headlines it did yesterday if it had happened last year or 5 years ago.
Well, it's interesting to see the Financial Times entering scoop journalism, isn't it? But it wouldn't have done.
No, this follows on from Harvey Weinstein and the Me Too movement and all of this. Does it, though, mark a major cultural shift in which we are going to get very critical of all sorts of things that have been going on, maybe to the discomfort even of you?
I don't know. It seems to me to be possible. What's also possible is that it could just be another occasion for people to stand up in public and say how good they are. I was at the cinema at the weekend and I had to sit through a pre-film filmlet with all kinds of great and good persons saying they were against something like this, so that they were obviously nice. Well, sure, they can say that, but the question is, do they actually really oppose the changes in our society that have taken place over the past 40 or 50 years, which lead to it? We used to have actually a fairly stern morality about the treatment of women, but it was based very much on lifelong monogamous marriage and a general respect for chastity. Now we don't.
Well, and that was a very different society in many ways.
Supposedly respectable people behaving in this way in a very, very expensive London hotel.
Theresa May in Davos has commented about this, and she says that she thought that kind of objectification of women in this case had been left behind. I mean, when she talks about that, it obviously hasn't, because we have lap dancing clubs all over the place, that Chippendale's performing, you name it, it's not just women, men as well.
Certainly used to give money to the Tory party. I don't know whether they still do, but I think they did.
Will we see a cultural shift against anything that can be regarded as objectification?
I don't know. Again, it would have to be enormously widespread to achieve it. I'm not sure quite how you can bring it to an end except with a major change in the moral climate. And what would that be? What is it that what I have to call, because there's no other term, the politically correct critics of this occasion, what is it that they would like to see in law and custom which would prevent this from happening in future?
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.